So how goes it, folks? Jolly Yellow talking to you. So I managed to sit down and watch the first episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy earlier today, and gotta take a few moments and get my thoughts out on it. But truth be told, I haven't been watching a lot of Star Trek material in these last 10 or so years. So when I say I'm a Star Trek fan, I'm more of, into the older continuity. TOS, TNG, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise. That's where most of my Star Trek love and knowledge comes from. So this was just a chance for me to sit down and watch a Star Trek series as it was actively running, which is the first time I've done that since Deep Space Nine, which was late 90s, early 2000s. So it was almost a new experience to me since it's been like 2 decades since I last did it. And I'm glad I did, because honestly, I'm enjoying it. I know there are a lot of people out there that are rushing to get their hate posts out there so they can complain it, calling it slop, saying, boldly going nowhere, boldly going broke, the get woke, go broke and all those nonsense phrases, trying to cash in and grift on the hatred of, that is so easy to stir up so people can make profit off of. And I can understand, maybe you don't like it, that's cool. But when you're trying to farm hate, just go somewhere else. Just go find what you like. And anyway, what we saw here in the first episode, definitely laying down some groundwork. Well, first of all, one cataclysmic event called the Burn happened years ago. I'm gonna have to go and research that one. And now Starfleet Academy is just now, or Starfleet is just now recovering from that. They have established a new school, and the school appeared to be a ship that had to make it to Earth so it can land at Federation headquarters in San Francisco. But of course, it's not just going to be a straight shot. Shenanigans are going to happen. So I'm not going to bore you with just running down the plot details, because you can go and watch the episode. But from what I've seen so far, one complaint I've seen is people are basically trying to say it's Star Trek 90210, but honestly, I'm okay with that for now, because most of the leading cast, have you seen in the posters and the previews and everything, they're Starfleet cadets. They're young adults. So yes, there's probably going to be some young adult-like situations like 90210 back in the day. Frankly, I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't take over what Star Trek is supposed to be about. And from what I've seen, there's no danger of that. And anybody who's trying to yell about that, I don't know, maybe they think they're psychic from watching 2 episodes and being able to tell it's going to go the wrong way. Cast is all coming together. We saw they're coming from different walks of life. They're different species. And to my surprise, I was immediately able to figure out who I think is going to be the Finding Humanity character. Who was the Finding Humanity character? In the old continuity of TOS through Enterprise, there's almost always one character per series at least who is interested in humanity, they're fascinated by humanity, and some of them would even want to become human, or at least they romanticize the idea of being human. In the TOS, it was Spock. In Next Generation, it was Data. In Deep Space Nine, it was Odo. In Voyager, it was the hologram doctor, who, by the way, is in Starfleet Academy. And I'm not sure who it was in Enterprise, because I did not finish Enterprise. I only watched like the first 2 episodes of it. But with that makeup, and this interesting character this time, the Discovering Humanity character, he appears to be a hologram herself. So there's going to be some good interaction, I'm sure, between her and the hologram doctor, who is one who's going to be in the cast as well. And so far it seems like he wants to look up to him and learn from him, but he wants nothing to do with that. So that relationship will probably get interesting, to where probably reluctantly he'll start showing her around. And it was just really fun to see her. And he also kind of maybe had the Wesley Crusher position going on, where they're like the awkward teenager doing, great things beyond what people would normally be. I know people hated the Wesley Crusher character, but he was basically a proxy for a child that got to live in space. But anyway, on that. And truth be told, she's my favorite character so far. Sam, her name is called. And yeah, there are definitely other people around. Sam's not the lead character, but she is a member of the main cast. And she's gonna be the person I'll be keeping an eye on because she seems interesting to me. And like I said, I have a thing for discovering humanity characters. Also, shout out to Paul Giamatti. He is the opening villain, or at least the villain here in the beginning of the series. I'm sure other villains will come up, but he's an excellent, strong start to have as your first villain. He has a story tied in with the captain, or she's going to be the chancellor of the Starfleet Academy. So they have some history that is shown in an early sequence in the beginning of the first episode. So that's going to establish him as a recurring enemy for probably at least season 1. So good to have him there in the mix. I hope he sticks around for a very long time. Holly Hunter, she is the captain or slash the chancellor of the Starfleet Academy, and she is long-lived, surprisingly enough. I forgot what species that she is, but she's been alive for several hundred years, and she was actually brought back in as the chancellor of Starfleet Academy because she's one of the few people who remembers what Starfleet Academy was like before the cataclysm, aka the burn that happened years ago. All in all, it's shaping up to be a good series in my opinion. It's worth checking out. I think it's worth watching. Do not be distracted by the people who are trying to find numbers to prove their bias, or to be scraping all the headlines to try and see like, oh, see, this proves that I was right. This proves that this show sucks. This proves that, whoa, this doesn't work. Give all those people, go watch it, check it out, try it for yourself, make your own opinion. Even if you don't like it, I would prefer you go and watch it for yourself, decide you don't like it, than to just listen to grifters and rage baiters trying to convince you to hate it before you even give it a chance. Well, pay attention to those clowns. Go watch it for yourself, or go check out people that you actually trust to give it a fair shake, rather than just trying to score points or dunk on Star Trek. I don't know what you even call it these days. But yeah, my opinion is worth watching. I've only watched episode 1 so far, but episode 2 is already up and available. Just get out there, watch both of those. It'll probably be a few days before I get to the second episode. I've still got work and home responsibilities and stuff like that, but I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm in and invested. So what are you all thinking about Star Trek Starfleet Academy? You folks have a good one. Jolly Yellow out.